Hey guys, it's Black Obsidian Joe. Today I want to talk about something that's very important to me, and that would be POTS and EDS. EDS stands for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and the symptoms of that include bleeding, double jointed, easy bruising, a heart murmur. I have that. I'm guilty of having that. Joint dislocation, muscle weakness. Yeah, I have that too. Physically deformity. No, I do not have that. Poor wound healing. Yeah, I don't have that. Or wrinkles. Nope. Don't have wrinkles. Not yet, anyway. Also, side note, you could have stretchy skin with Ehlers-Danlos. Yeah, that's not fat. That's just stretchy skin. POTS is known as postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Now, yeah, that's a really long word, I know. And this actually develops in a person between the ages of 15 and 50 years old. Usually it's women, but I've seen men who have it. So it's quite interesting. And this is actually pretty common. More than 200,000 people in the U.S. alone have this case or disability. On the other hand, Ehlers-Danlos, EDS, it's a rare disability that is, let me check, fewer than 200,000 people in the U.S. alone would have this or be diagnosed with this. So that's interesting. This is very chronic. It could be either lasting only a few years, or it could be a lifelong issue. For me, it's been 20 months, so I don't know what the term and effect would be for me. And there is a life expectancy. Sorry, I'm actually reading this off of the internet. The life expectancy is very scary. And when I heard about this actually worried me a bit and made me a little anxious. The life expectancy for someone with Ehlers-Danlos could be 48 years of age or 40 years of age, which is really, really interesting and scary all at the same time. On the other hand, POTS, there's really no life expectancy. You could live a whole life living just like anyone else. You're just going to have to make everything simpler in life. Some people I've seen have wheelchairs, canes, stuff like that to help them walk. Because for us, standing is a really difficult task. I can't stand no more than, trying to think, probably 15 minutes to a half hour. I can't stand longer than that, or else I'll go down and faint. So the symptoms that include for POTS is lightheadedness, which I get daily, fainting, that happens to me pretty much every day, rapid heartbeat, I get that as well, and it is treated by lying down a lot, so I'm always sitting and laying down. At the moment, there is no cure for this, and that is very difficult since there is no cure. The reason why I believe there is no cure is because it's not talked about enough in the medical and scientific community. If it was, more people would be better well known to this, and more doctors would be insightful and helpful with people who are treated or diagnosed with this. Another thing, as I read, treatments for POTS are consistent fluids and self-care. So that's drinking water, drinking a lot of electrolytes, and mainly I've seen intake of salt and sodium chloride, which is another name for salt. You could use compression stockings. That worked for me for a while, but then it just stopped working. What it does is it helps circulate the blood from the legs, the feet and the legs, and goes all the way back to your heart. I actually have very low blood pressure, so that actually did help me for a while when I was starting out. There are a lot of medications for POTS. There's blood pressure pills, says beta blockers and steroids. I've been on steroids. They didn't work fully for me. And I've been on blood pressure pills as well. I've never been on beta blockers though. People actually do use IV fluids. I've seen pictures of people with IV fluids just in their home alone. Hopefully that won't be the case for me as it progresses, because at the moment for me it's getting worse. I am in a loss with everything, but I try to keep a positive attitude, because I always say I cannot die. And when I was diagnosed 20 months ago, I got this, a little ghost. And that, I just got that on a whim on Friday the 13th of October 2017, which is the time around I was diagnosed. And I look at it now and it actually comforts me, because I know that it just tells me, it just shows me that there's so much life left. So but for Ehlers-Danlos, the treatments include monitoring my pronunciation for certain words are not allowed really, because I can't pronounce things. Monitoring for changes or improvement. There are medications, physical therapy, and sometimes even surgery that have helped people. Anti-inflammatory drugs are also used for people with Ehlers-Danlos. So, in my perspective, I've drowned in my bathtub, drowned at the public pool, I've fell at my last job, I fell out of bed, off the couch, I suffer from seizures, but those are non-epileptical, so I don't have epilepsy. But I always make it back. And when I come to, I cannot speak, nor can I move. So the way I communicate is by either humming or blinking my eyes. Because when I wake up, I'm in a paralysis-like state. So, and I've really never had paralysis before since I was diagnosed with this. So, the humming was something I came up with. Got the idea, this is as crazy as this sounds, I got the idea from watching Gremlins and the sounds Gizmo makes. I was thinking I could make like a humming sound similar to that. It would actually work. And sometimes even, excuse me, and I even like try talking when I'm humming. So, like yesterday when I fell, my mom asked me, "Did you fall?" And I go, "Hmm." Or like she'll ask me what happened, and I go, "Hmm." So those are like some of the words, like some of the sounds I will make. I do blink my eyes rapidly to let people know like I'm trying to communicate with them. That's something that helps me communicate, is either by humming or by blinking my eyes. Because I literally cannot move anything. It could take me about 15 minutes to an hour to completely move everything. So that's how my life is. Everyone varies with their symptoms. Another thing is, a lot of people wear medical ID tags, or their service dogs have a medical ID card on them. I don't have a service dog at the moment, but I hope in the future I will, because I actually have a letter stating I am allowed one. You always want to read the medical ID card or the jewelry that the person is wearing or holding, because some people have it that say, "Do not call 911." I am one of those people. I do not need an ambulance whenever I fall over or when I fall, unless if I'm bleeding or if I am suffering any injuries, external injuries. I know people say like, "Oh, what about if you have internal bleeding?" We would rather, people like me would rather wait at home until the symptoms get worse than just taking a chance and going to the hospital. I've been in the hospital numerous times. The last time I was actually in the hospital was a week from today. So, smartphones actually have a emergency option when you press the emergency button, and that would be if you hold the volume up button and the power button on an iPhone XR together at the same time. It makes an alert sound and it calls 911 right away. But also, it could contact your emergency contact. It could also pull up a like a medical ID card. Mine has my name, my weight, my birthday, all the prescriptions I'm on, all my disabilities and symptoms. It also says I am a donor. I'm an organ donor if anything were to happen. And it also says what my blood type is. This is a really hard thing because not many people know about it. And there's two kinds of POTS actually. There's the one I have, and then there's one that has to do with tuberculosis. So, I'm the one who has postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Let me say that very slowly. Postural tachycardia. I went the wrong way. Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And the day I was diagnosed, I cried. I cried to this day. My mom's very supportive of my disability, and I am very lucky for her. I have relatives who don't understand, friends that don't understand. A lot of people believe that it's all mental health problems and it's all in the mind, and it's not. Because we can all have great days, and I could fall. I was having a lot of good days last week and over the weekend, and I just felt sick, and I just would fall, drown. I'm lucky I don't injure myself, but hey, that's what it is, right? I've had children witness my episodes, and it horrifies me when a child sees it because I don't want to scare them or anything, but I cannot help it. I have a cousin who does understand. He's only 9 years old, and he understands everything I'm going through, and he's seen my episodes. And so what he does from his perspective is he goes and gets an adult who is nearby and says she's having a seizure and she's passed out, and the adults would come and assist me and wait for me until I wake up. That's the major thing, is you always want to wait till the person wakes up from passing out or having a seizure. So that is today's video, which is a very important topic, and everything around that. It is a really difficult thing to live with. However, I do not have a service dog. I just wanted to point this out. I do not have a service dog, but Rocco, my dog that you see in all my videos, is actually well known to how to treat me, and he was self-taught. No one taught him how to do any of the things he does to help me. He licks my palms, he'll sniff me, he'll nudge my arms, and he also will lie on my chest to compress me, to comfort me, so I don't start hyperventilating or that I'll start shaking. So yeah. The other thing I wanted to point out, this is not everyone. This is me from talking personal experience. When I faint or pass out, I can hear everything around me. I just can't see or move. And sometimes I am imagining things. I remember once when I was working, I actually passed out. By the time I woke up, I didn't know where I was, and I asked where was I, and they go, you're at your work, you're at your job. And I looked around, I'm like, no, I'm not. And they go, yeah, you are. Some days I don't even know what the day of the week it is. Paramedics always have to ask these questions, like what the day of the week is, what's your name, where are you. One time I actually did not know the day of the week, and I had to think for like 5 minutes, and they're like, do you really not know what the day is? I'm like, no. Could I have my phone so I could see? And they're like, yeah, that doesn't work. If you can't think off the top of your head, you can't. So, of course, they ask what the president is, and I hate that question. No offense to people who support him. I have my opinions. I'm very opinionated. So, but yeah, that's the video. Might have been long, it might have been short, whatever you think. Also, I want to give a shout out to someone in the EDS community who's also a YouTuber. I love her work. Her name is Aisha and she makes these incredible crafts She does resin, and they're beautiful. I just love her art. So, and she has this bubbly, happy personality that I just enjoy watching. And when I found out she had EDS, like me, I jumped to joy. I was like, yeah! So I want to give a shout out to her because she just is incredible when it comes to people like that. And she called me a fellow zebra because the zebra is actually the logo for EDS, and the color is actually turquoise, which is ironic because that's my favorite color. And the weirdest thing about it is when I was 5 years old, my kindergarten class, we had names for our everyone voted for names for their kindergarten class. Mine was the blue lions and yellow zebras. You know where I'm going with this probably. If you take the lion and the yellow away, what do you have? A blue zebra. Hello, that is the sign for EDS and POTS. So, with that, I hope you have a good day. And remember to always help others. Have a good day. Bye.
It's not just that. When I took her that figurine, we had a really, really good talk. And besides, Claire does things like rig contests and try to steal my boyfriends, but she wouldn't do